Hello, good morning. So I'm a happy bride because I got my second thing. Do you remember in the last video I said there was two things? Well, let me just turn you around. Let me turn the screen so I can see what I'm doing. Beautiful and sunny out there today. Lovely. So there you go, predators. Now these are scrap metal predators. And they're fantastic. Got a spark plug, and the legs are made of spoons. The feet are chains, like a, you know, motorcycle chain or push bike chain or whatever. I love them. So clever. The hair is made out of nails. There's lots of nuts and bolts and things. This came separate, the spear thing. So you just slot that in. What do you reckon? I know, not everybody's taste, but I absolutely love them. Beautiful. Oh, I say beautiful, I mean they're ugly, but they're beautiful because they're ugly, I think. Let's, can I grab him? Where can I grab him? Ever so heavy these are. Oh, as you can imagine, can I do it with one hand? Bloody hell. I'm not sure what they weigh, but a ton. I'm trying to hold my little microphone thing. Let's pop that in my pocket. Right, that's it. Very clever. Yeah, I think it's great. Or they're great. God, they're so heavy, that's it. They are so solid, unbelievably solid. So there you go. Oh, we'll turn that around that way. There we go. So yeah, it's made me happy anyway. Funny what people are into, isn't it, really? I do love that. I love a couple of things I really love, and that's going into other people's houses. I love doing that, and I love just to see what they've got. And it's funny what people are into. And I've been in people's houses and they kind of amaze me, and they're full of, I don't know, whatever, full of, I just need to jiggle you for a minute, sorry about this. There we go. Sorry if you're feeling a bit seasick there. Yeah, sometimes it can surprise you. I went into to somebody's house a couple of years ago, a bit of a sort of hippie woman, surprise, surprise. And her place was absolutely full of pictures of poppies, you know, the red poppies, the little black thing. Absolutely full of poppies. I said, wow, you love poppies? She said, oh yeah, I love all flowers I love, but especially with poppies. And I thought, because she was a bit punky hippie, I thought there may be, I don't know, whatever, you know, full of prodigy music or Fields of the Nephilim or something like that. But it wasn't, it was all nature. It was, she had some waterfalls as well from Wales. She took them herself and got them framed. But mostly it was poppies. So I love that. I said two things. I do love that. And because I just find it strange sometimes, you know. I think if you walked into here not knowing, there's 6 bungalows here, if you walked into this one not knowing which one I lived in, you would know that I live here. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you can walk into a place and it's quite bland or boring, or white walls, for instance, you know. And that says a lot about the person's personality, really, that they haven't got one. So I love that, and I love, because it's a bit quirky and a bit strange, but I also love to find out what people are into as well, and that can sometimes surprise you. And how did people get into it? You know, I was chatting to somebody a couple of years ago, and he's a scuba diver. And I said, really? Bloody hell. And he said, I've been doing it years now. And he said he went to the Firth of Forth, is that right, up in Scotland. And that was one of his first deeper sort of dives, but now he dives anywhere. And I said, my God, that's quite weird, really, quite strange. And he said, well, I began to swim. When I learnt to swim, I swam underwater and I loved it. And then I swam on top, but I preferred to swim under. He said, a series of events leads you on, you know. And sometimes you can speak to somebody and they're very quiet and gentle and what have you. And you say, you know, what do you do in your spare time or whatever? And again, I spoke to somebody and he was very, very soft-spoken and just very gentle-natured. And he's in a heavy metal band. He's the bassist, I think he said he was. That kind of surprised me. But yeah, so you get surprised sometimes, and I like to find out what people are into. You know, because everybody likes whatever they like, don't they, really? So, went shopping the other day, and I got given 2 of these, one big one and one small one. If you haven't seen, that's the old one. This is the old 20 quid note. That old Queen thing's on there, obviously. And sadly, that old Queen thing is on this one as well. It's all slimy. So the backs, that's the old one, and the back of the new one is there. I ain't got my glasses on, so I don't know who they are. I think that's a bloke, but to me it looks like Emily Bronte. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit smaller. Let's see what we can do there. So you see, it's not massively smaller. I chatted to the bloke on the till and he said, have you sent the new 20 quid notes? And I said, no, I haven't. Have you got one? And he said, yeah, I got half a dozen. And anyway, so we'll give me one. Well, not give me one. And he said, they're much smaller than the 20. Well, actually, that's marginally smaller, isn't it? Slimy old things. Now, my question is, why did they bother with that old bloody Queen thing? Why did they do this now and not in 3 years' time? She'll be dead within 3 years, 4 years, right? And then they've got to change it all for, I presume, William will be king, because Charles is, you know, well, he is. I love the purple on that. I tell you, I'll give this note something. The purple on here is amazing. Absolutely beautiful and amazing. So I can give them that. But why put that Queen thing on there? Even the new ones with her on it. Urine. Why put her on there? Why not wait a couple of years and put whoever is going to be king, which would be William, I think. Why not wait and put William on there? Why spend all that money now? What was the point in doing that? She's going to be dead. She ain't got long, has she? A couple of years, 2 years, 3 years at tops, I think, something like that, and she'll be gone. Let's make a premonition then. What we 2020? 2023, January of 2023, she'll be dead. Now, of course, if she is and she gets shot in the head, they'll be coming for me, won't they? Yeah, just why bother? Why waste your money like that? I don't really understand. Don't understand. I worked for a particular organisation a number of years ago, and they were talking about replacing the building, and they did. I'd left, but they replaced the building. Prior to replacing the building, over the summer holiday, they replaced the building in October, well, October and November. They decorated in August and September, and they spent, I think, £20,000, a lot of money, on decorating this building, only to scrap it. It was I think 4 or 5 like terrapin hut things all sort of cobbled together, and they made a nice job of it and it looked lovely, and then they scrapped it and they put these new buildings on, which I think 2 of them are wood. Whatever, I haven't been there for years, never go there again. But you know, what a waste of money. Why would anybody do that sort of thing? It's very odd. It's like going to a wedding. You get invited to a wedding and they say, oh, you got to wear your black shoes, and you say, well, I ain't bloody got any. So you go out and you buy green trainers, knowing that you need black shoes that you got to go out and buy the day after. And it seems, that just seems ridiculous, because obviously, I mean, how many notes have they produced? It's billions or trillions or whatever it may be, because the 5, the 10 and now the 20 are slimy notes. I don't know about the 50, I suppose. I'll bet they go and do that, you know, next year. I bet they do. I bet they give us a slimy 50 as well. But it costs millions and millions, or probably trillions of pounds. I don't know what it costs really, you know, to produce all this stuff with all the security measures and all the rest of it. Why not just hang on a bit and say to her, you know, we was going to do a note, Mum. However, you're 97% dead. So 3 more years, Bryce says, you're 97% dead, Mum. So we're not going to bother. Have you got a photo of William? And we'll get cracking on these ones. Actually, somebody told me, somebody who works, actually somebody who knows somebody who works in the Royal Mint, said they've already got in place, they've got the blanks for the notes in place. And they have, I presume, they have some with Charlie on, what a nutter, and some with William on, just in case, you know, one or the other is king. Because what will happen when the Queen dies, these notes really will become null and void very, very quickly, because that is no longer the head of the Treasury. What is it? It's just a dead body. You can't really have a note with that thing on. So, yeah, very quickly they've got to do that. We'll wait and see on that. That's a cheerful message today. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you my Predators, because I'm really, really pleased that I've got them. I wanted them a long, long time ago, and I couldn't afford it. This was before I was doing my work and what have you that I'm doing now, but I couldn't afford them then. I thought, oh, well, I'll hang on. You never know what's around the corner. But I love them. I love the fact that somebody has really worked hard on them and chosen the right things, like spoons and, you know, knife and fork handles, and you know, the spark plug is a lovely touch, and screws and nuts and bolts and nails, and the chain. It's great. There's loads and loads of different bits in there. They're really solid, really heavy. I mean, they're up out the way, as you see. They're up on my speaker, so they're not going to get damaged or anything like that. I won't do, but if I wanted to, I could spray them with a protective thing. It's like a silicone type spray, I believe, that you spray it over, and you still let all the metal shine through. But it's just easier if you want to go and dust them and stuff like that. But I think the worse condition that they get in, eventually they look better, because they're scrap. They are scrap items. That's what they are. So today I've done over 4,000 steps. Did over 4,000 yesterday. Got up, sunshine was out, so I did the washing, hung that out. Why am I doing that? I do that to stop the wind. I'm not even outside. Yeah, I got up early, too early. I'm going to go and have a nap in a bit. Did the washing, hung that out, and then took Bodie up the road and played BALL. I didn't see a soul today. Very, very quiet, the village is. That was really nice. Went up to the new dog walk, and there's over 1,000 trees in there, and they're going to be planting, they reckon they're going to be planting 5,000 trees. We'll wait and see on that, because I think it might be a bit overcrowded, but whatever, they reckon there's enough room, and to do 5 paths, including one around the circuit, around the edge. So wait and see on that. But they're going to plant them over the next 2 years, so you'll have, you know, some trees growing and some trees are just starting, that sort of thing. I think it looked really nice. So I went up there, probably for about an hour. So he's tired and I'm tired. But I came back and I've just, in my slow cooker, I've just put some mince and some onions and some mushrooms and some herbs and spices and things like that, and some ragu, you know, jollop. I lob that in there, and I'm just going to leave it alone now. So do that with some spaghetti later. Yeah. Sort of tea time-ish, whenever, or this evening, and that'll last me, I think it'll last me 2 days, maybe 2.5. And what I mean by the half is the following day, whatever that'll be, I can have either I could eke it out a little bit and have it with mashed potato and some peas and things like that, or I could just have a little dollop at dinner time. So that'd be alright. Funny phone call I had this morning. When I had my bloods and that taken yesterday, the nurse said, oh, I need to do a review on your medication. And I said, oh, okay. I said, what now? And she said, if you got the time. So I said, yeah. It didn't take long, maybe 5 minutes. And she went through the medication. I said, there's 2 on there that I no longer take. And she said, have you stopped them or have the doctor? And I said, well, I stopped them. But I did let the doctor know. In fact, I've let you know as well. But they're still on there on my, oh, what's it bloody called? All shouting at the camera now, aren't you? You know, my regular prescription. What's that called? My brain, I got a blank. Anyway, whatever. Stop shouting. You know, you order the meds, don't you? And you go and pick them up on a regular basis. No, I still can't get the word. Anyway, whatever. So I said, so there's 2 on there, she can take them off. Anyway, so she took them off and she said, okay, they've gone. I said, thank you. And she said, and any problems with any of the rest? Are you taking them as prescribed? Any side effects that you've noticed? Things like that. And we just went, you know, had a sort of 5-minute chat about medication and all the rest of it. And that was all fine. So I got a missed call when I was out with Bodie playing ball, BALL. So when I was out with him, got a missed call, and they said it's a surgery, can you phone back? And it's not urgent, but can you phone back? So I phoned back, and I spoke to this woman, and she said, oh, we need to do a review on your medication. I said, I did that yesterday. And she said, oh no, you had your bloods taken yesterday and your blood pressure. I said, yes, I know what I had, but I also had a medicine review. And she said, no, she wouldn't have done that. I said, sorry? I said, she did do it, and she's taken 2 of my meds off. She said, well, let me have a look. Anyway, she had a look, and she went, I said, hello? And she said, yeah, I'm just reading this. She said, yeah, okay, so 2 meds have been off. Anyway, you still need to see the doctor. And I said, why do I need to see a doctor over my medication? And she said, well, you can either see a doctor or a doctor can phone you. And I said, is there a problem then? Do I need to know anything? She said, no, it's just a review. And I said, I had that yesterday. And then she said, no, the nurse wouldn't have done that. And I said, you can just see for yourself. She's taken 2 meds off yesterday. Is that correct? Because when I got back, I go on my doctor's surgery website and I plug in as me. And it tells you about the conversation that we had and the meds are off and all the rest of it. Anyway, she said, well, whatever. She said, I need to make an appointment. So I said, all right then, whatever. So Saturday at 11:30, some doctor's going to phone me who I've never heard of in my life, and we're going to have a little chat on the phone. But I've already done all this, and I would be telling the doctor exactly that, and give them the date and the time that I saw the nurse, and say, look, on here, on your website that I plug into, it says that I arrived, and, you know, we talked about this, and she took bloods, and she did the blood pressure, and good news is the blood pressure's fine anyway. It's a bloody wonder, isn't it? In this day and age, with all that crap that you got to go through. Anyway, I'm going to make a move in a minute. I'm going to go and have a kip as well. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. But when I get up, somebody will have cooked me a lovely bolognese. That's a beautiful thing, you know, about the slow cookers. I did a stew in there about a fortnight ago. I got some braising steak, absolutely lovely, and it came out, it was so tender, it was beautiful. And I did onions and carrots and potatoes. That's all I did in there, or a few herbs and bits and bobs that I always lob in there. And I made up some onion gravy, and fairly thick, and I lobbed that in there and just left that alone. I did that about 10 o'clock in the morning, just left it, and at 5 o'clock it's piping hot, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I had that for 2 days. It was absolutely lovely, and it was cold as well outside, you know, so when you eat that hot food that you've made and the whole place starts smelling of food, listen to me going on. Anyway, take care then. If I'm not back over the weekend, have a lovely weekend, look after yourself. It's supposed to be windy, but very odd. I know that the weather is funny in different areas. Somebody can have wind and rain, and yet a mile away they got nothing. Do you know what? Yesterday, when I was at the doctor's, before I went to the doctor's, we had, just for 10 minutes, we had a little snow flurry. And on my little journey there, which don't take too long in my car, there was several cars past me with snow on the roof, on the windscreen and the bonnet. And when I got there in the sunshine. And I said that to the nurse. I said, right, I'm off then. I should go and see what the weather's going to bring us. And I said to her, there was bloody a little flurry of snow, you know, snow on people's roofs and bonnets and windscreens. She said, was there? I didn't see any of it. And I said, no, I don't think you had it. And that is, what, 5-6 miles away? That's how it can go. Take care. Have a lovely weekend. We'll be back soon. Oh, thank you to Stephanie. I sold another book. That's a book a day I've been selling this week, so thank you very much. And that'll be posted probably Monday now. But thank you anyway. Take care and be well. Ta-da.